Hello everyone, this is Anna Garcia, relationship specialist, and now thank you to Laura and crew, international bestseller and Amazon #1 bestseller. Boy, that is a mouthful. But I tell you what, this is a story that began about 4 months ago. Yes, that short of a period of time is it possible, and I believe even less so. And it just came out of a conversation with a dear friend who's a #1 bestseller, and he said to me, Anna, you must write your story. And in that moment I said, yeah, but how? I have no idea, I've never considered myself much of a writer. I don't have the time. I'm very busy. And then I said, you know what? I'm going to intend it and I'll let the how show up. And I so happened through my network to come across Laura. And for me, it was just my gut feeling straight away. I just knew this had to happen. I had to take that leap of faith, For me, it was about trusting somebody that really I didn't know. I didn't know Laura from Adam. And for me to invest time and money in something like this, at the end of the day, I said to myself, you know what? You either trust yourself or you don't. You're either fooling or you're not. So next thing it was just the most simple thing, by the way. Working with Laura is the most simple thing, drama-less thing, because I know how to do drama. So next thing, I'm having a conversation with Laura via Facebook. We arrange a call. By the way, one thing you want to know about Laura is when she says this time, it is that time. By this, that's when it happens. So, and I love that because that really works for me. So next thing, we're having a phone conversation, and then next thing, where we've started. So she literally just explained to me, all you do is you talk your book to me. I'm like, what? I don't have one. No, you just tell me a story. And do you know, she was the most patient angel. We started the process, I think it was something like a Monday evening, and a couple of hours there, and then a few days later, a couple of hours there, and then a few days later, or the following week, a couple of hours there. It was the least intimidating thing I'd ever done. And at the same time, I felt more vulnerable than I'd ever felt. And that's just because of the nature of the process. For me, it's like putting myself on, into an audio, putting myself into paper. But that was my stuff. And sometimes there were moments where I was stopped. I was like, I don't know. Laura was so patient, so incredibly patient and reassuring and comforting. And that is how we got through this process in such little time. So that was the kind of narration of the book. Then came the editing part. So the narration of the book, I think, was done in about 6 hours, over a couple of weeks, if that. And then the actual editing. They then took over the transcribing, the whole thing, then sent it back to me. Then I was able to play around with it. So what was really great is the whole time I had ownership of it. The whole time it felt like my book. It never felt like my words were being violated or my words were being abducted, which I hear a lot from, publishing organizations. So it was just the most simple, delightful and connecting experience with myself, and with my book. So isn't that interesting? So there you go. Very, very simple. And then came the moment, right? So it was the week coming up to the launch, and everything was just so simple, so dramaless. I couldn't believe it. So I started questioning Laura. I'm like, Laura, so surely should we be doing something else besides what I'm already doing, which is just sharing on a daily basis, doing a daily live, which is something that kind of occurred to me anyway. It's like, well, how am I going to do my best to promote my book? And she's going, no, don't worry about it. We've got it all handled, Anna. Trust. It's going to be a bestseller. I'm like, wow. And actually, that kind of level of peace and that level of just that calmness about her, actually made me a little bit nervous, but that's my stuff. And true to her word, within an hour or so of it launching, or within a couple of hours, I think it was Amazon #1 bestseller. And that was just extraordinary. Now, she never promised #1. She said it will be a bestseller, whichever way, whichever number, it doesn't matter, but it will be a bestseller. And we got #1 bestseller in this case, and then international bestseller. How cool is that? So if you are in two minds, now, a week after or so, not even a week after, after having had the launch and having become #1 Amazon bestseller, it is the best investment I have ever made. And ultimately, it is about trusting myself, knowing that it's an investment that's going to pay off 100 times. I am delighted because what that has done for me, I tell you what, when it comes to my clients, when it comes to like all my audience, it has connected them to me in a whole new level. They read my book in a couple of hours and all of them got back to me and have said, Anna, I have never felt so close to you. When's the next one coming out? You know, so it's doing something while I sleep. I'm getting messages, WhatsApp messages, PMs from all over the world saying, Anna, this is the part that's touched me. Thank you so much for sharing it. Oh my God, it was like me too, me too, me too. So if you are in two minds by any shape or form, please don't be. Know that it's the best investment you could possibly make if you're a speaker or in any capacity, coach, in terms of reaching out to your audience, connecting with your audience, or potentially reaching out to a lot more people. This is the best vehicle, and it was the most seamless and painless experience I never imagined. Most of my peers who have written books themselves have taken over a year to do so. This process took me 3 months. Yeah, so that is how easy and simple it is to actually work with Laura and her crew. So guys, that is it from me. It is Anna Garcia from Relationships Intensive. My book, by the way, is called Blossom and Become, a heroine's journey back to self-love. Thank you so much, guys. Mwah.